What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and today I'm going to share with you the top 10 things I wish I knew when I started out in Bloodline, Heroes of Lithas. But first, download Bloodline Heroes of Lithas, a mobile RPG action fighting game where you can marry your champions to create new and unique hybrids. Use the link in the description to start with some free stuff, including gold and diamonds. And I'd be honored to have you join my server so you can play alongside me. Simply click on your profile, settings, then change your server to S462. See you hopefully soon. Alright, so of course how well you start out in a game like Bloodline is vital to how quickly and efficiently you can progress through the game. And so I started out in this game while it was still relatively new, so if I could go back and do things a little differently, I totally would, and I'm going to share with you what those things are. And the very first thing is to make sure to change your server as soon as you start the game. And what you're looking for when you change the server is, first of all, a server that has a lot of active people, and secondly, if there's other people you want to play with, make sure you're on the same server first. This is important because when you switch servers, you essentially lose everything that you had on that other server. Now, you can always go back to the server you started on, and that stuff will still be there and you can resume playing with it. But for example, if you want to play with me, you got to join me on server 462, S462. So if you're just starting out, feel free to join me on that server. It's a pretty active server. I'm in a good guild. It's a lot of fun. But make sure you're in the right server first before you progress any further. Number 2, spend diamonds on Intimacy, Charm, and the Valley of Conquerors, which is this sort of like Alliance Wars kind of thing. Do not spend your diamonds on summons. And of course, you can spend your diamonds on whatever you want to. I can't tell you what to do. But I think it's most efficient to spend it on those things. You're going to progress much quicker through the game if you're focusing your diamonds on some of those other hard to get resources than on getting new champions. And the reason is also because if you look at my summon portal here, I've got 503 summoning crystals. That's 503 summons, and I've gotten them mostly for free just by playing the game. Like winning challenge events and just getting them through rewards and other things like that. You get a lot just through things like the Valley of Conquerors and the Guild Conquest. So there's no reason to be slowing your progress down by using diamonds on that kind of stuff. Now over here in the Grand Bazaar, and through some value packs, you can spend diamonds in order to get some of these things. This isn't probably the best rate for Intimacy and Charm. I think it's actually in the Dungeon Descent, where you can use diamonds to get things at a massive discount. But that's where you should be spending your diamonds, not on summons. The third thing that I wish I knew is that common champions are actually more valuable than rare, epic, and even legendary champions. And the reason is simple. It's because they only have one trait. So of course these aren't champions that I'm leveling and playing with, but you need every common champion you can possibly get in order to be able to isolate mythic level traits to put on the mythic or legendary champions that you're really trying to level and get the best absolute traits on them. So what do I mean by that? Well, I'm not going to dive like entirely into how marriage works here. Please make sure you're subscribed. I'll do an in-depth video on that. But when we look at a rare champion, there's multiple traits. And there's even more on an epic champion. And there's the same number on a legendary champion. But for our mythic champions, they have, when I click on one, like female LIONSTONE, 4 trait slots that you can play around with. Now I have 3 clan traits on this one, and that's where I use the common champion. I use the common champion to marry a mythic champion to it until I get the clan trait that I want isolated, and then I can take that common champion and marry it to the mythic champion that I'm leveling and make sure 100% that that high level clan trait is absolutely going to transfer. And another way that you're going to use these common champions for marriage is that you can take another LIONSTONE, let's say, I'm going to scroll down and pick one, and you can use common champions because it doesn't matter what the level of the trait is, as long as you put a trait on a champion like this and match it to the champion you're really trying to level, and the two really match each other except for the one high level trait that you're trying to transfer, then you are guaranteeing again that you are transferring the desired trait from one champion to the next. So I'm often using 1, 2, or even 3 common champions on one mythic champion in order to be able to move a desired trait from that mythic champion to another mythic champion. Number 4, save your resources for the challenges. So in the upper right-hand corner, you can see the challenge menu here, and we have server and cross-server challenges, such as the arena, where I'm saving arena tickets. And then also, we've got the charm challenge, where you save up your charm and wait for a moment like this where you can use it all at once to get some really good rewards. I'll do that in just a moment, but there's a district challenge here that has its own things you can save up, like bread, and like there's architectural points that you can build up to level your district buildings. But just to show you what I mean, when you jump in here, there's some excellent rewards here you don't get any other way, and you get them based on rank, right? So I saved up my charm and haven't spent any of it until I've gotten to this point in which I'm gonna pick just really any of my companions here. I'm gonna jump into the charm tab, and I'm just gonna totally unload them like this, and wait until you see how just saving it is going to really launch me up the leaderboard. All right, so like I've gotten this charm, like I was saying earlier in the video, mostly through Dungeon Descent, where you can get a lot of charm for a really discounted price with the diamonds, and the same thing is true of Intimacy. And charm is going to enhance your districts so that you can create more gold, while Intimacy is going to increase your intimacy with the companions so that you can get higher level champions. So look at all this charm that I'm just throwing in since the last event. I just let it build up. So not only am I going to make more gold, but now I'm going to be probably pretty high on the leaderboard of this particular challenge. Let's take a look. Yeah, look at that. I went all the way from who knows what to rank number 4, just like that. And look at all these rewards I'm getting just for having saved my charm. At number 5, make sure to max a female Lionstone as quickly as you possibly can. Whether it's common, rare, epic, legendary, doesn't matter. Just when you get one, max it out, and you are going to thank me later because it is based on her skill. And the percentages in her skill don't change, so when you max them, it's going to have the same benefit no matter the rarity. That's why it doesn't matter the rarity. Plus, you can increase the rarity down the road anyway. I don't think a lot of people know how to do that, but I'm going to make a video on that, so stay tuned. But basically, she is the only champion in the game that makes your whole team better like she does. She increases the attack speed, and she increases the actual attack number, so your team wins faster. She's the cornerstone of every team you're going to build, no matter who the other champions are, and you're going to find success in this game a lot quicker if you have her maxed. One of the things that makes Bloodline what it is and different from other games is this whole marriage and courting mechanic where you can create guaranteed heirs of champions that you want to have, so you don't even really have to go summon for them if you're going to get guaranteed ones. And you can only do that by unlocking companions and increasing their intimacy to a high enough level to then court them and get the guaranteed champion with that clan. So at number 6, the first companion to take to Mythic should be TRAVAIN. I know I've been talking a lot about Lionstone, but it's TRAVAIN that you want to hit up first because she's a 1-star companion. Or you can change the gender and, you know, it could be he, you know, potentially too. But regardless, it takes less intimacy to create the mythic heirs that you really, really want. And the reason TRAVAIN is so valuable is because of the clan trait. So I'm going to go click on a TRAVAIN and show you. The clan trait is called Agile, and it increases the attack speed. And this can go all the way up to level 22. This one's at a level 18, but it's increasing attack speed by 22%. And so whatever champion it's on is not only doing more damage because it's attacking faster, but it's gaining more mana because each attack gains some mana. And so that means that the ultimate is going to go off faster. So clearly, I want this clan trait on pretty much every champion I create. Since we've been talking about marriage and moving traits around, you can see I've taken that agile trait, and on my favorite heroes, I've moved it onto them. You can see it's on my Divala. You can see it's on my Ignis. On that note, at number 7, the second companion you should take to Mythic is YIVNIAN. And the reason is similar to why you want to take TRAVAIN to Mythic, and that is because it's a 2-star champion, so it also doesn't take quite as much intimacy in order to unlock it, but also it has this super valuable trait of Focused, which says when the battle starts, increases energy gain rate by, and this is 22% because it's at a level 18, but it could be higher if you get it up to a level 22 trait. So I also want that trait on pretty much all my champions, or almost all my champions, because the energy or the mana is going to make the ultimate go off faster. So you can see, I already did this, went through my favorite champions, and you can see Agile and Focused are the ones that I'm putting on pretty much all of these champions. At number 8, carouse with your companions as often as you can. I think this is a very overlooked part of the game, and people forget about this and maybe don't even understand it. But what you do when you carouse with your companions is you gain increased charisma, and you can see there are vials. So if you've saved up a bunch of vials, make sure to use them because you're gaining charisma with this. So you can say I have a lot of vials, so I can keep doing that if I want to. The charisma is listed at the top. See, I just clicked on the bottom right tab where it says companionship, and you can see how much charisma I own. Well, I can jump in here then and choose particular companions to increase the charisma with, and what that does in turn is increases the yield in my districts. The districts is how you gain gold in this game, and it's something that's ongoing. So it's better than just these one-time shots at getting gold. Like, gold is constantly being gained here. And the higher level your charisma with certain companions, the higher the yield in the district is going to be. And you need that gold to go jump in with your champions and increase their levels like this. That makes them stronger. It makes them have more HP. It makes their attack higher, makes their defense higher. Number 9, only summon for special featured champions if you can get the companion that goes with it. So sometimes you're going to see these events pop up where you can go to the summon and have a chance at getting a clan that is not always available. Some of the clans are always available, but some like this one are not. And you can summon for them, but you're going to notice in the upper right hand corner here that you can gain intimacy with its clan the more you summon, but it takes quite a lot of summons to actually be able to unlock enough of that intimacy to unlock the companion. But it's not worth summoning for that champion unless you have the companion, because it's almost impossible to level the champion then. You need multiples of that champion card to feed to it in order to increase the number of stars it has. And the only way to guarantee yourself that you can do that is if you can have the companion and create heirs for it. So like if I jump into the companions, you can see I do have some of the special featured heroes unlocked. Like I have Divala and I have Gultong, because I did enough summons to unlock the companion. And now that I have it, I can click that court button, and what it's going to do is go over here and create the heirs that I need. And I can just keep pumping them out and then feeding them to my main champion I'm working on to increase the number of stars it has. But how many does it take? Well, you know, on the safe side, I would say it takes about 400 summons in order to be able to get the companion. So if I go down here, you can see it takes 300 to get all the special rewards that go with the special event. So it's ultimately going to end up being probably somewhere between 300 and 400 summons to guarantee that you can get the companion. But it's actually not as hard as it sounds, and it doesn't necessarily even take a lot of money. Like, I saved up 503 summon crystals almost entirely for free just by playing the game. So if I want to, I can unlock this companion. Now, one of the things I've really appreciated about Bloodline is that you can be free to play. You can be cheap to play, or you could be pay to win, and it's actually pretty balanced. Like, you can be extremely successful in this game as a free-to-play player or a cheap-to-play player. If you are somebody who's going to spend money on this game, however, there is one deal that's probably better than all the others. So especially for the cheap-to-play folks, if you're going to buy one deal, I would suggest going into the Grand Bazaar, clicking on the privilege card, and getting that one that's 43,433 diamonds for very, very, very little money. And every day it's going to pump out 110 diamonds and give you an immediate 3,280. So if you're only going to buy one thing, this is probably it, because you can play for like a whole year. It's going to give you diamonds every single day, and that's going to help you get all that intimacy and charm and even more summons if you're spending it on the Valley of Conquerors event. So you can be really successful in this game just getting that one particular deal. But like I said, you can be free to play too and not necessarily have to spend on any deals. Just get diamonds through playing the game, because you get it as rewards in all different kinds of areas. So no matter what level you are or how you plan to approach this game, you can be very successful. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.